I was 79 when I met a woman named Patricia. Nice woman, lived down the hall. We started having coffee together, talking. She made me laugh. One day she said, Eugene, are we dating? I didn't know what to say. At 79, the word dating felt strange, like putting on clothes that didn't fit anymore. I told her I'd think about it, never got back to her, not because I didn't like her, because I'd learned something the hard way. I'm Eugene Johnson, 84 now, and I'm going to tell you something nobody wants to hear. After 60, most men shouldn't be looking for girlfriends. I know that sounds harsh, maybe even cold, but stay with me. Because what I'm talking about isn't about giving up on love, it's about being honest about what you're really looking for and what you're actually offering. Maybe you're younger, thinking this doesn't apply yet. Maybe you're my age, wondering if it's too late for companionship. Either way, there's something men don't want to admit about relationships after 60. And it costs more than most of us realize. When Lorraine died, people told me I'd eventually want to find someone else. You're too young to be alone, they said. I was 78, too young, as if being alone was a problem that needed solving. A friend set me up on a date 6 months after Lorraine passed, woman named Barbara. Sweet, well-dressed, smiled a lot. We met for dinner. She asked about my life. I gave short answers. She told me about her grandkids, her book club, her yoga class. I nodded, smiled, counted the minutes until I could leave. Driving home, I realized something. I wasn't looking for a person. I was looking for Lorraine, and that's not fair. Not to Barbara, not to anyone. That's the first thing men don't talk about. At 60, 70, 80, most of us aren't looking for a new relationship. We're looking for what we lost. We want the familiar, the routine, the person who already knows us. Starting over at this age isn't romantic, it's exhausting. I tried again a year later. Woman I met at the library, Margaret. We'd talk about books. She suggested we get dinner. I said yes. This time I tried harder, asked questions, listened, shared more. But halfway through the meal, she started talking about her ex-husband, how he'd left her for someone younger, how she'd spent 5 years rebuilding her confidence, how she was finally ready to trust again. And I felt it, the weight. She wasn't just looking for companionship. She was looking for someone to validate her, to prove she was still desirable, still worth choosing. I understood that. But I also knew I didn't have the energy for it. I was tired, tired from work, tired from loss, tired from 62 years of being what other people needed. We finished dinner. I walked her to her car, told her I had a nice time, never called her again. She probably thought I was rude, maybe I was, but I realized something sitting across from her. Most men my age, we're not looking for a partner. We're looking for a caretaker who doesn't feel like a caretaker. Or we're looking for someone to take care of so we still feel useful. Either way, it's not about love, it's about feeling a whole. Here's what I've seen. Men after 60, we fall into patterns. Some of us want a woman to cook for us, manage our lives, remind us to take our pills. We call it companionship. It's not. It's replacing the wife who used to do those things. We're not falling in love, we're hiring unpaid help. I knew a man, Albert, widower, started dating a woman a year after his wife died. Within 6 months, she'd moved in, took over his kitchen, his laundry, his calendar. He'd brag about how lucky he was. She takes care of everything, he'd say. One day I asked him what he did for her. He looked confused. What do you mean? I said. What do you bring to her life besides needing things? He didn't have an answer. That's the trap. Men think companionship means finding someone to do what we can't or won't do for ourselves anymore. Cook, clean, organize, listen to us complain. We don't see it as using someone. We see it as a relationship, but it's not equal. It's transactional. And at our age, most women have already spent decades taking care of men. They're tired too. Then there's the other pattern, men who want to feel needed. They find a woman with problems and try to fix her. Financial trouble, family drama, health issues, doesn't matter. They dive in, play the hero, tell themselves they're helping. But really, they're just trying to feel important again, trying to matter the way they used to matter at work, in their families, in the world. I watched my neighbor do this, met a woman half his age with 2 kids and debt she couldn't manage. He paid her rent, fixed her car, took the kids to school when she was working. told everyone he was in love, but I could see it. He wasn't in love with her. He was in love with being needed, with having a purpose again. When she got back on her feet and didn't need him anymore, she left. He was devastated, not because he missed her, because he missed feeling useful. That's not love, that's ego. And it's not fair to the other person. They're not there to make you feel relevant. They're a human being with their own life. Lorraine used to say, I didn't know how to need people the right way. She said I'd help anyone, but I'd never ask for help myself. Thought it made me strong, made me dependable. What it actually made me was alone, even when she was right there. After she died, I thought about dating because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Thought it meant I was still alive, still capable. But the truth is, I didn't want a girlfriend. I wanted to not feel like my life was over. Those are two different things. Here's what I wish someone had told me at 60, 70, 80. What you're feeling isn't loneliness for another person. It's grief for who you used to be. Grief for the energy you don't have. Grief for the time that's gone. You can't fix that with a girlfriend. You can't fix that with anyone. I see men my age on dating apps, in senior centers, at church events, looking, searching. And I wonder what they're really looking for. Because most of them can't articulate it. They just know they're uncomfortable in their own skin and they think another person will fix that. It won't. What happens instead is this. You meet someone. You're both polite, both trying. You go out a few times. Maybe it progresses. Maybe you start calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend, even though those words sound ridiculous at our age. And then what? You settle into routines. She cooks. You drive. You watch TV together. Have the same conversations. And slowly you realize you're not less lonely. You're just distracted. Because the loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about being disconnected from yourself, from meaning, from purpose. Adding another person doesn't fix that. It just gives you someone else to disappoint when you can't be what they need. I'm not saying don't have companionship. I'm saying be honest about what you're offering and what you're asking for. Most men at our age, we're asking for a lot. Patience with our moods, understanding for our limitations, tolerance for our complaints, company for our silence. And what are we giving back? Often, not much. We think showing up is enough. It's not. Women at our age, they've spent their lives giving to husbands, to kids, to aging parents, to jobs. They're tired, and a lot of them finally have their lives back, have their time back. And here comes a man saying, check, keep me company, make me feel alive again. That's not fair, that's selfish. I realized this sitting on my porch one evening. I was thinking about Patricia, the woman who asked if we were dating, and I asked myself, what do I actually want from her? The answer was uncomfortable. I wanted her to fill the hours, to make the apartment feel less empty, to listen when I talked about Lorraine, to make me feel like I wasn't forgotten. I didn't want to know her deeply. I didn't want to meet her needs. I just wanted her to meet mine. That's not a relationship. That's using someone. And I'm too old to pretend otherwise. So here's what I did instead. I stopped looking, stopped thinking I needed someone, started building a life that didn't require another person to make it feel complete. Coffee in the morning at my own pace, books I choose, quiet when I want it, conversation when I seek it out, on my terms with people I genuinely care about. And you know what? I'm fine, better than fine. I'm not lonely. I'm alone. And I've made peace with that because I realized loneliness isn't the absence of people, it's the absence of connection to yourself. And no girlfriend was ever going to fix that for me. I'm 84 years old. I've been married. I've been a father. I've been a provider. I played all the roles. And now at the end, I'm just Eugene, and that's enough. If a woman came into my life who genuinely wanted to share time, not fill time, I'd consider it, but I'm not looking, not searching, not trying to prove I've still got it, because the truth is, what I've still got is me. And after all these years, that's finally enough. Thank you for sitting with me. If you want to, again, I'll be here.